second grade in the 90s. Let's address the elephant in the room real quick. I know what you're thinking. What happened to your eyes? You doing a different style? What's the reason behind that? To understand the eyes, we got to go back and we got to readdress how many kids my dad had. Now, this mofo had 12. Yes, I said 12, a dozen. Couldn't stop. At the time I was in the second grade, though, there was only 8 of us. The 2 he had before me, and then one after me, different mom, not the same as the first 2 kids' mom, and then 4 more after that. So after Jay was born, we got our first angel baby, baby K, and Jay became a sunshine baby. He was the baby born before the loss. Then we got another K, and that K decided to stay and became the rainbow baby, the baby born after an angel baby. And then there was another J born, but that J also passed, sadly. And so K became both a rainbow baby and a sunshine baby, and that's the 2 siblings that we lost. My eyes, I call them angel baby eyes because
Mom and Papa deep in pain, they laid 2 babies to rest. Now what's 7, so I held it real deep in my chest. Made me love my younger siblings, never want to be apart. Left me silently dying from a broken heart.
after losing 2 siblings and gaining my angel eyes, my fuse ended up being a lot shorter than what most 7-year-olds have. And that's saying a lot because 7-year-olds aren't exactly the most patient of people. So while most people were packing their crowns and notebooks and folders and pencils for 2nd grade and getting ready for school, I was packing my short fuse, my wrath, my ability to fight, my broken heart into my mental backpack. This story isn't really about me. This story is mostly about Mike. Mike was a kid so foul and dirty, he came to school multiple occasions with lice. And I'm talking lice so bad that he had them in his eyebrows. And we all knew that because his eyebrows were red, just like the rest of his hair. Mike was the kind of kid to rip off a scab and eat it while making eye contact with you. He fed on that, both the scab and your disgust. But more importantly, Mike had this color wheel in his own mind. Various shades of brown, shall we say, from extremely light to, chocolatey cocoa. And Mike drew a real hard and firm line on which shades he found acceptable. While there might have only been the slightest of difference between 2 shades to the average non-Mike person, to Mike, that difference might have been as far apart as the sun and frickin' Pluto, as far as he was concerned. It was too big to even think about. Suffice to say, his color palette was extremely limited. So much so that when the movie Aladdin popped off, Mike couldn't stand it, and all he could do was be negative because why weren't the 2 main characters white? Why was the movie not taking place in America? It didn't make sense to him, and he thought it was stupid. When Pocahontas came out, me and Mike, we agreed on one thing, but for very different reasons. Mike couldn't stand the fact that John Smith was with Pocahontas. He thought it was stupid. Why wasn't John Smith with someone who looked like John Smith and someone who looked like Mike, in his opinion? I just thought she should have been with Cocoam. When The Lion King happened, he loved this movie. Thought this movie was amazing until realizing that the movie took place in Africa. And then he thought, what he thought about the previous other movies, that it was dumb, didn't make any sense. Why was the movie in Africa? Who cares about dumb old Africa? A kid in our class showed up as the Mask for Halloween. It's a popular movie right about that time. So why not, right? You dress how you want for Halloween. Not according to Mike. This mofo had a full-fledged crash out because the skin tone of the kid playing the mask versus the person who played the mask in the movie was vastly different. In his book, it was day and night different, but only slightly different to the average person. And also, it didn't matter to nobody else except Mike. But those things pale in comparison to the worst thing that I seen Mike do. We were doing some assignment. Don't ask me to recall exactly what it was, but we're coloring. And Mike was sitting across from this indigenous American little girl. She needed the black crown. Black crown is not in the crown bucket. Why is it not in the crown bucket? Because Mike is sort of like bogarting it behind his arm. Eventually, she notices that Mike has the black crown. She needs to use the black crown, so, she just waits patiently and holds out her hand and asks him, hey, Can I get the black crown? This mofo flips out, hawks out, grabs his pencil, and just stabs her in the hand. And I'm gonna say this, it remains the most insane day to me in my memory of school in the 2nd grade because she didn't cry. He stabbed her in the hand, she didn't cry. She just grabbed her own pencil and stabbed him in his. I never seen that kid again in our class. I don't know if she moved away, if she was suspended, if she got moved to a different classroom. Mike stayed. That chick, never saw her again. There was this after-school program called Kidco. Me and my best friend at the time, Z, were in Kidco.
Better because they do a lot more and there's a lot more cartoon craziness that happens.
I like the Ninja Turtles more. I kind of like that, you know, they're stuck under the sewer and they're different. And so they can't be out with a lot of people because people think they're so different. And no one's supposed to see them or know that they exist. And I kind of like that. And then I like the X-Men because the same thing, you know, everybody sees them different. And a lot of people don't like them.
I've made Mike's radar. You guys shouldn't hang out together. What are you doing hanging out with this person? So I say to my friend Z, I say, you know what, let's just go to the swings. There's 2 swings available. We make it in time. You know, we don't have to deal with Mike. So we take off for the swings. But Z isn't faster than Mike. I damn sure am. So I make it to the swing. Z don't make it to the swing. Mike gets to the swing before Z can get to the swing. Mike's giggling. This is funny to him. I'm like, you know what? Don't even sweat it, Z. You know, let's just go walk around the basketball court and we can just keep talking like we were when we were chilling in the grass. No, Mike can't let that go either. So he's now walking in front of us backwards as we're walking around talking. And mainly he's just going blah, 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 blah over everything that Z is saying. So, you know, it's kind of hard to understand. Patience is not my strong suit. But then Mike goes ahead and says something that I really, really couldn't ignore.
European Americans can't hang out with POCs. It's gross.
And I can feel myself crashing out. I can feel myself about to freaking snap and lose it. So my options are limited. Again, I'm only 7, so faced with this situation, there's not really much I can do. My best options are emotional or physical, and I am not about to cry for Mike. So I decide I'm gonna grab him by his head and just shake him and shout in his face to go away, right? Seemed like a good plan to me. So I reach up, I grab Mike by the side of his daggone face, and I'm holding on real nice and tight, right? Getting ready to shake him. Second I grab Mike, you know what I'm saying, he gets shook and he snatches back and it rips skin from everywhere my fingers were on his face. It just rips skin back and he's looking shocked. I'm shocked. I feel like, oh my goodness, this is bad. This is horribly bad. But also, you know, maybe if you'd have left me alone, you know what I'm saying, like it didn't have to be like this if you just left me to flip alone, Mike.